Что ела макар прыгал. Истинный спрашивает, что я стуса. Истинный скала создан нас. Истинный скала ждал.
What's up, YouTube? To CFX here back with another video. And I know I told y'all that y'all were going to get that motivational video. Look, I didn't sound too good in it, so we're going to pass that on to another time when I start to feeling better. But I got to bring you guys the weekly markups because I do understand I didn't do it last week, and I don't think I did it the week before that either. It was either I didn't do the weekly markups or the weekly markup review. It was one of those. But I'm gonna bring out this video because we have been learning a lot. We have been growing a lot. We have been getting more consistent results as of lately, and I gotta basically show you guys my process because this is my journey into freedom. But also shout out to everybody that is in Capital Powerhouse because they still, for one, checking in on me when I was sick. Oh, I still am sick. But also just still showing love in the group chat and still continuing to grow even when I'm absent. So shout out to everybody that's in Capital Powerhouse. And this week is going to be a weekly markup, but we're also going to go over some of last week's trades as well, since I didn't do the weekly markup or the weekly markup review. So this is going to be the review of last week. Going into last week, we had a bit of news that was going to come out. If you guys did not know, Chairman Powell had a testimony this week, and it did not go as planned at all. So he dropped the ball on a couple of things, honestly, and it helped a lot of our trades mostly, but it also kind of messed up a couple of our trades. And it caused some to react a little bit later than we wanted it to. But for the most part, you guys know money was still made in every trade, not every single trade, but I want to say about one GJ when it's playing, EN when it's playing, UJ when it's playing, and UCAT when it's playing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them went out of plan out of, we wanted, Nas didn't go as planned, Gold didn't go as planned, and what was the other one? Was it GU? Yeah, GU didn't go as planned. So pretty good ratio, but you guys know if trades do not look the way that they should look when you're getting ready to take them, you do not enter that trade. So let's start off with gold. I want to show you guys what not to see or what you don't want to see before you enter a trade. So gold, we had the break, right? We pretty much knew the break was going to come this week or last week rather, but we were waiting for the retest. So let's get a closer look at this retest right here. So as the market was getting closer to the retest, it's two things that I want to see that I did not see. And that's either momentum slowing down as it's nearing my retest, or exhaustion from the candles as it's nearing my retest. So even if we just hit rewind right here, let's rewind this market, right? So we got the break and the retest was now starting right here. If we look at these candles, we don't see any form of momentum slowing down from buyers, and we do not see any type of wick exhaustion coming from these candles. So that right there would have automatically made this trade invalid, and we would have been looking to the buy now instead of the sale on the retest. So although we did have great structure right here, and we made money going off this minor structure right here, overall, it still did not move as planned. And it's all about paying attention to the candles, trading what we see, not what we hope. This is an example of trading what you see. We was hoping that the market was going to retest right here and sell back down, but we would have got faked out, and that would have been an ugly look. You guys see here, even on this, I always tell y'all, when we're getting a rejection, I want to see a hard rejection, right? That's the only type of rejection I want. I want to see a hard rejection. So like here, you see this rejection out of this supply zone twice. These two candles, both here and here, is a hard rejection. That's a hard sell. That is something that we would like to see whenever the market is nearing our zones. So an example is here again. When we look at, let me put it in a box. So when we looked at gold when it was nearing this supply zone right here, what do we see? We see momentum slowing down, candle by candle. So we have this big candle right here, and it's getting smaller and smaller until it gets into a doji. That is perfect momentum right there, slowing down and transforming into sellers. Y'all see that? Y'all see the difference in it?
Yes.
So that
Yes.
is what we would like to see whenever the market is nearing a zone that we're looking to trade off of. And then the next example is exhaustion. So we do have smaller candles right here, and then the market forms this larger candle right here for buyers, or this bullish candle, in other words. But we're starting to see exhaustion. So we see exhaustion here, and we see exhaustion here from this candle. That is another example of what we would like to see. So these are two great examples of what we would like to see when the market is nearing our retest zones after a break, or nearing a zone that we are looking to trade off of as of supply and demand, or support and resistance, or trend lines. So these are two great examples right here, but you scroll over here, these are two bad examples right here. And I know some may look at this right here and they might be like, well, it hit our trend line and then it immediately, kind of bounced off of it. But these are not strong bounces. These are not strong rejections from this trend line at all. So this is not what I want to see whenever the market is nearing my support and resistance or anything else that I'm trading off of. So that is why gold became invalid this week. And it would have been good for the buy, because if we look right here, we have momentum slowing down, because you guys see before, sellers were very strong right here. Sellers were strong, but it started to consolidate. The candles got smaller, and we see wick rejection. So that would have been a great confirmation for buyers to get in, and could have took that buy right there. But it was too close to a structure for me to even look to take this trade. So that's why I didn't necessarily call out the buy as well, because we could have caught these pips from here to here, yes, but there's no telling how this trade was going to react once it got to here. So that was gold. Nas pretty much reacted off of news. Yeah, it did buy up like we wanted it to, but it bought up much later. So let's go to Euro NZD. So Euro NZD played around for a while, played around a lot. And y'all can see, like here, this is ugly. This is ugly market structure right here. Like, well, it's great movement, but it's ugly how it played out. So for me, you guys know, I don't like to sit around in trades for a long time. I don't like to sit around in trades and wait for them to make their move. And is Keelan on this call? Let me see. Nah, he ain't on here today. I told him this last week, because I did record the weekly markups, but I just did not post it because it was already Tuesday, and moves had already been made by that point, and I like my results to be like out there before it actually happened. So that's why I didn't post that weekly markup, but I did place this red line right here, and I said, once it breaks this red line, then that will be the confirmation to sell Euro NZD, and we could trade it off of this bounce right here. Now, you guys see here, as soon as it broke this red line, that was when it ended up selling down. Now, a lot of people probably hopped in early, and I don't like to hop in when the market is moving like this. And the reason that's why is because there's uncertainty in the market. You don't know if this trade is about to buy or sell until it breaks structure and tell you what direction it wants to go in. So that's a keynote that I want you guys to remember. Like, until market breaks structure, do not hop in a trade. Do not, because if people hopped in early right here, they didn't know where this market was going to head to. Unless you've been trading for 5+ years, you did not know where this market was going to head to, because there's plenty fake outs. Like, there's plenty fake outs right here. So that's why I ended up marking this support right here. And the reason that I marked this support is when I marked this up, I want to say the market was like maybe here. It was probably here. So looking back at this moment, we see the market tends to wick out in this area a lot, right? But 2 times we see it reject right off of this price right here of 67,233, which is here and here. So some like to put a zone. Some like to put a zone right here. Some just put a line. It really up to you. It doesn't really matter, as long as you know where structure is, honestly. So I ended up marking up this line right here, and I said, if it breaks this line, because overall, this is the thing. You have minor structure and you have major structure. So the major overall move was to sell for Euro NZD, right? The major overall move was to sell for Euro NZD. But it's not about hopping, or it's not about knowing where the trade is going to go. Because most of the time, you're going to know where the trade is going to go once you actually understand market structure. It's about knowing when the trade is going to go in that direction. So here we have major structure, right? We're on a daily time frame. And if you look here, the market is nearing a supply zone right here, right? We see wick rejections. We see the market selling out of this zone multiple times, besides here where it went above. But the next day it ended up selling right back down. So even here again, once it got to this area, we see wick rejections, right? Wick rejection, wick rejection. Then as we go into the 4-hour, or let me backtrack a little bit. Let me go back to the daily. So we had wick rejection, and also let me hit auto. All right, I have my fib levels as well. So let me zoom in a little bit more. My trade had already hit TP1. This green line right here. The trade had already hit TP1 from the buy from all the way down here that we took a couple weeks ago to up here. So for the swing trade, this is TP1, this green line. But once that had already happened, the market, you know, it's not full speed all the time, right? It has to take breaks and rests, or what we like to call pullbacks in between, right? In between these bullish runs or bearish runs, it has to have pullbacks in between. So as it reached a major level of structure, then we was looking for the market to then take that moment to like rest and pull back a little bit. And that was what ended up happening. But you guys know, once it hits a monthly level of resistance or a monthly level of structure, I'm about to test y'all again. If it hits a monthly level of structure, what happens?
It's more than likely to reverse.
Almost true, yes. But what does it do when it hits a monthly level of structure?
Does it retest
It's
it?
gonna chill there. It's gonna chill there for a minute.
Yep, exactly. It's gonna consolidate. It's gonna chill there for a little bit, because, yeah, like I always talk about, the fast moving train. You know, it's moving full speed. It's gonna take a while to slow down. It's gonna take a while to start back up. So here it hit this monthly level of resistance, and it literally just started to consolidate for a while. And it didn't break until, when did it get here? It got here on January the 6th, and it didn't break until 6 more days later. So it literally consolidated for 6 days. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, most of your time as a trader is going to be you waiting. It's going to be you waiting. The traders who make the most money are the most patient traders. Some people probably got in at the test of this trend and immediately hopped in. And you more than likely would have got your stop loss hit if you use proper risk management. Because your stop loss is supposed to be right outside of your zone. So more than likely, you probably had your stop loss like at least up here or near TP1 right here. And even at TP1, it would have got hit. So it's like, you probably wondering what is going on, and the reason that your stop loss ended up getting hit because you wasn't patient enough to wait for the right confirmations to let you know to get in on this trade. Yes, we have wick rejections up here, but we also have wick rejections down here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it really could have went both ways. And we saw examples with other trades where it went both ways this week or last week. So that's why you wait for a break. You wait for the market to tell you where it want to move. And once it broke here, that was when it told me where it wanted to move. So we got that break right here. And then this is where my field came into play. But you can also go back and look at structure. So here, the market took off, right? The market took off. But let's look and see where our last level of structure was. It was here, right? So here we had our resistance right here, right? We got resistance back at this area. And this was also where the last break happened. So impulse, there's 3 moves in the market: impulse, correction, continuation. And our field did play a major part in it as well. If you guys, I spoke about it in my field video on the major points that I look for the market to pull back to. Actually, I just went over it in the on the over review or the review. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I spoke about it just a little bit earlier before this call started. So we got this level of structure right here that it just broke. It broke it right here as well, but it ultimately came back down, creating a higher high and a higher low, which is great confirmation that this trade is about to go up for the buy and that buyers are about to take control. And we got it right here as well. So we got the impulse. Now all we're waiting for is correction. So where's the correction more than likely going to pull back to? It's going to pull back to the level of structure that it just broke, which is what we ultimately call the break and retest. So right now we're waiting on the retest. And if we look at what happened, market literally retested the zone. It didn't even make a full candle in the zone. But what did I tell y'all we like to see at a retest? We like to see, well, it's two things, momentum and exhaustion. What do we see here? We see momentum slowing down, slowly transforming into a buyer zone, and then we see exhaustion. That's great. Again, great confirmation of what we would like to see. And the trade ended up being a win. So going exactly how I marked it up. And then for the people who may be watching, because I know y'all are weird on my Instagram and stuff like that. Y'all just be watching and all that. I don't understand y'all. I ain't gonna lie. But we can even go back to the dates that I sent my stuff out, because I do not lie about my results at all. Actually, let me scroll all the way up. I sent this out when the week started. Ooh. Y'all get insight on some NFTs that we be talking about. All right, so boom. Euro NZD right here. What date do they say? January the 9th. I do not be lying. I saw that happen before it happened. So it's not hard, y'all. It's just market structure. How are people, it's not even people predicting the future. Like, it's not even that. Because even I used to think that. I used to think, what's the dude name from I Am? Picasso? Yeah, Picasso. I used to think Picasso was a freaking genius, bro. I'm like, this dude know every freaking thing that's about to happen with Bitcoin. But honestly, it was just market structure. It was honestly just market structure. And me not knowing any better, I just did not know market structure at the time. So once I did learn it, I was like, okay, this is how people are able to tell where the market is going to pull back to. This is how people are able to tell direct prices where stuff is going to happen. And they know if it breaks this price, then it's going to continue to go up. Or if it breaks this price, then it's going to continue to go down. That's why I teach market structure. That's why I haven't made a video on my own strategy of how I trade. Like y'all see all of these indicators and stuff on my screen, but I ain't said nothing about a single indicator. I just strictly talk market structure because that's the most important thing when it comes to trading. That is the most important thing. So that was Euro NZD from last week. As of this week coming up, I'm looking on it to finish its move because I feel like it's going to go higher. And there's no sign of reversal right now. So on Euro NZD, I plan on it finishing its move. We do got a break of a trend though, and we got a break above our supply zone. But unless it fully breaks above this high, then that's when it's gonna be valid. So I'm looking for it to possibly go above this high. If it does, expect for it to create a higher high and then come back down, more than likely retest this zone right here. So we can maybe expect something like more than something more. I cannot talk right now. More than likely something like this on our move for Euro NZD. So break, retest, and if it ends up rejecting right here and sell back down, which more than likely it will, then just trade that sell off. But we are done with this zone. I can move this up now. So all we did was just move on to the next level of structure now. We just moved on to this level of structure. Still though, do not disregard this one. That does not mean that this level is not important. I just moved this up because that's the level that we're at now. So let's pay attention to this level. Let's see if it's either going to create a higher high or if it's going to reject out of here and sell back down. And could go either way right now. We're just going to trade what we see and see how it moves. GJ went as planned as well. It did do the initial sell-off. It sold right down to near our TP1, but ended up retracing back up. And still did not break above here, so the sale was still valid. I honestly wanted it to come all the way up here because this is where this high matches up at, but it's all good. But what you guys see right now is possibly the start of a major downtrend. So let's see. So this could be our point A to point B right here, and then C all the way to the end. But we will see how far this sell off. If you missed out on this sale right here, you still can more than likely hop in on a retest. So let's see here. I'm deleting these because I see something else. All right, so that was the break and retest of this. And let's see if this is a valid. So with GJ, if it does come to retest, it would retest this supply zone or near the supply zone again. Actually, you can still count this as part of the supply zone. And also this support right here. It's a minor support, but I feel like it still haven't finished off its sell-off yet, because if you look, like, it did sell off a good amount. I feel like you're going to pull back just a little bit more, possibly two here, like I have marked up, and then sell off again, hopefully. But we will see with GJ. That's what I have going into next week, though. And last week's move was just really us capitalizing off minor structure. That's all that was. I traded the break off of here, the break and retest, and that was what that sale was. It was either gonna, the reason, because I had two arrows. I had one pulled all the way back here, and I had one trading up the break of this support. And it did sell off a little bit, but it was pretty much just a fake out. It wasn't ready to fully sell off yet. So that was that move for CJ. But I do feel like it's getting ready to fully sell off. So yeah, I feel like GJ is about to get ready to sell off. If it rejects off of these levels again, look for that sell off or near the supply zone. If it pulls all the way back up here, then I would watch for it a little bit. I would watch for it. Just watch it and see how it moves at that point. But if it rejects off of around this area, then expect this sell off, possibly back down to, where was the last solid resistance? This level. Because here we have, it was support right here, resistance. I would look for that. I would look for it to come down to this level right here. So that's my markup for, this is the overall move. Now, of course, there's going to be noise in between, minor pullbacks in between and stuff like that. But this is my overall move for GJ. And if y'all know about my fib levels and stuff like that, you'll see how it matches up directly with one of my fib levels that I have. But it was a support right here, a resistance right here. This is my last strong level that I see, other than here, that it could bounce off of as well. So yeah, I'll say about either here, either here or here. If it's strong enough, it's going to break and go down to here. If not, then it's probably going to bounce off of here and then go. All right, so EU, probably, I ain't gonna say my favorite trade of the week, but it's up there. I liked it. I like how it played out. Even though it did sell down a little bit more than we wanted it to, and this one was really about news based as well on the reason that it did the way it did, because again, Chairman Powell has spoke, and it slowed down a lot more than we wanted it to. I did not see what I wanted to see when it neared my retest right here, because I see here we got the break of the minor structural trend. So we got the break of this minor structural trend right here. Now I was looking for the retest creating a higher high, which it did, and I was looking for a higher low, and it did create a higher low, but the low was just a little bit still lower than I wanted it to be. So I missed out on the entry right here, but if you look still, it was pretty much just a fake out. It came down, it sold, and then it broke back below this downtrend, but the candle right afterwards immediately bought back above it, putting this trade back into rhythm. And the candles after that was pretty much like consolidated candles, small candles, and we got the real movement that we wanted to see after that. We got the wick exhaustion right here out of off the field, and then after that we're pretty much up from there. Now, a lot of people probably pulled out right here, which is nothing wrong with that, honestly. Nothing is wrong with that at all. Pulling out right here, because still from here to here is nearly 50 pips. So with some, that's $50. With others, that's 500. With other people, that's 50K. But profit is profit, and as long as you're catching pips at the end of the day, who cares? It's about results. If you win in your trades, that's all that matters. So even just taking this little move from here to here is great. And I can see why you would have pulled out, because seeing this right here, so we're seeing momentum slow down, and it is nearing a level of resistance. So that would have been a good reason to pull out. You could have re-entered though, because we see the rejection after the break of this major trend that I have marked up. So we got the break of this right here, and we got wick rejection and stuff like that. So it would have been a good place to re-enter right here as well. But EU pretty much played out as we wanted it to. And that was just trading the break and retest of that minor downtrend right here and catching the buy back up. All right, so that, yeah. And that downtrend came from the weekly markup. But let's see what we can look for this week. So we just got the break of major trend, right? So now I'm gonna be looking for retest here. I can now mark a new field. And I will be either looking for the retest of the trend or retest of this resistance right here. To travel me up to TP1 for the swing. Or it may match this high right here. So that is what I'll be looking for for EU. And then another thing too as well. So for those who do get faked out or get worried about a trade going lower than expected, we switch down to the 1 hour right here, or I just switched down to the 1 hour right here. And we see all this seller's momentum right here on the 1 hour, right? But if we look closer, look at this wick rejection right here on the 1 hour, right here at this support. We get this heavy wick rejection, and then this bullish engulfing candle right here. So right after that, I definitely would have entered on this candle and caught this buy up, because that's a great confirmation that buyers are now in this. Buyers are still in this area, and they're going to push this trade back up, at least to the previous high. At least to the previous high. So let's say you hopped in too early and your trade hit stop loss. It's all right. Make it back on the back end right here. Take this trade back in and catch it all the way back up. That's a great example of just because your trade hit stop loss does not mean your trade is not valid. That trade was still valid. So just watch the market. EU might be one of my favorite pairs. That's 2 weeks back to back where we predicted perfect movements from here to here, and then from this to this. GU pretty much played around. It literally went all the way to the freaking narrow of this triangle. I expected it to break out before it got to the end of this triangle, but no, it waited. It literally just consolidated all the way to the end. But good thing about it is we finally got a breakout of this structure. So couple things that we can maybe look for now is let's see how I like this. So GU may end up matching up with this previous high right here. And GU may end up matching up with this previous high. So if it continues to follow this trend, it's definitely going to match up with this high right here that we have. And let's see. Let's see where this thing pulls back to. GU is one that I'm more than likely gonna watch a little bit. I'm gonna watch this one. Let's see. I feel like it's more than likely gonna buy up right here. More than likely. Unless it breaks this trend. So that's what I got for GU right now. I don't think it's gonna form its correction yet. Even though a correction is coming. Like a major correction. Because it just haven't had no major pullback yet. So we're gonna wait and see. UJ went amazing as well. UJ was really trading the break and retest, but also recognizing the start of another downtrend. So here, I'll mark my trend above right here instead of below. So really all I did was just mark the top of the uptrend instead of the bottom of the uptrend. So that way it would match up with these right here that was going on, or this movement right here that was going on. So seeing this movement right here was honestly what made, because at first I had it below, but once I saw this movement right here, that was when I ended up putting it above, and I put it above just to see if it would match up perfectly with this, and it ended up being true. So it matched up perfectly with this. So I was like, okay, I'm looking for the break and retest of this right here. And during that break and retest, it ended up creating point A, B, C, and D for the downtrend. So you guys see that it ended up testing this trend line right here multiple times. And each time we either saw wick rejection or we saw candle rejection from it. So here, what made it stronger right here was that not only was it the break and retest of a trend, it was the break and retest of a support as well. So this support right here ended up becoming a resistance right here once it finally broke below here. And then that was what started to sell off. Because you see from this retest, we started to see larger candles form than we did right here on the sale. Y'all see that difference? So on this retest right here, larger candles started to form, which was a clearer indication that sellers have now entered the market and they're ready to sell this thing off. But even before then, we started to see gradual sell-off and gradual lower highs in the market. So it's really more so trading is really training your eyes to see things happening in the market before it happens, and seeing or recognizing patterns of certain market movements, and knowing like, or recognizing, okay, last time this happened, the market did this, or last time that happened, the market did that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say like a couple weeks ago, the last time that we've seen this happen, where the market was creating lower highs gradually. Like it was very subtle, but it was creating lower highs in the moment. And after a while, I want to say it did it like 3 times, just like this one did. So it did it 1, 2, 3, and then on that third one, that was when it sold off. And I want to say it was USD JPY again. Let me see if I can go. Ah, crap, I forgot. I deleted my markups. I can't remember when that was. It was probably down here. It looked, I think it was this area, if I'm not mistaken. It looked like it was this area. But even here though, the market got here and then it was gradually creating lower, getting lower before it officially sold off. I will have to go back to my market review and go backtrack that. But yeah, either way, we've seen this before and the same exact thing happened. And that was pretty much this move right here. Just trading the break and retest of this trend, but also understanding that other structure is around it that would confirm the sell-off for this trade right here. It was already in the supply zone. Also, we had divergence from here to here. That's another great confirmation. Even here, we had divergence. So you guys could have used that. And right now we have major divergence right now. So I'm looking at possibly the sell-off of here because it is retesting this support right here. So that's more than likely what I'm looking at for UJ. And it could end up pulling up higher. Could end up pulling up higher. If it does go any higher, more than likely going to go up to here and then sell off. But we would trade what we see. Trade what we see. Trade what you see. Did I mark up my okay? All right, so UCAD, last week I had it either bouncing off of here and buying up, which it did buy up for a little bit, but it ended up coming right back down and then breaking through and sold off. And what would have been a well, I can't ask y'all that yet, but what confirmation or what was a confirmation that this was going to continue to sell off was this rejection right here off of my field level that I have marked up. So I had ended up getting the rejection off of the 38.2, which was really about a confirmation to me that this was going to sell off even more. And that's what ended up happening. So ended up breaking through here. And we had this, we about had it ready to break through here. I want to say before last week, but it finally ended up breaking through here. So that is the break of a major structure. And now we're just looking for the retest, honestly. More than likely can be a move like this. So this is what I'm looking to see for USD CAD. And what really helped us, like I said, with these US pairs were Chairman Powell. I don't know why he is part of the Feds, but Chairman Powell testimony had ended up building uncertainty in the market or in the United States economy, which consumer perception on the US economy was already really bad. So that's testimony pretty much didn't make it any better, honestly. And that ended up weakening the US dollar and pushed a lot of trades in our direction, honestly. So we could thank Chairman Powell for that. And let's hope that they continue to do their thing and helping us make money. But it just goes to show that my yearly USD CAD projection is still going as planned, honestly. Let me see. I keep forgetting that I deleted it. So I want it to come down to about matching up with it. So I'll chart it off. There you go. Yeah. I want to say I had it about right. Yeah, I had it matching up about right here. So we'll see how the market continues to react. If it does come back and retest right here and reject, that will be even a bigger sell-off for USD CAD. And you can see this market possibly coming down here for real. I didn't really project it to come down here, but it probably can end up coming down here for real. So we can see with USD CAD how this market is going to move this week. But that is my markup for it. And you guys know that I'm going to send it in the group chats after this call. Let's see what's the top 5 things that's coming up this week, because I kind of been out of the loop since I done got COVID. So let me see what's pretty much going on this week. First, let's go to our FS calendar. You guys have any questions so far, though?
No.
Everything makes sense.
It makes sense to me. Jayla's probably asleep.
Jayla, I know she ain't sleep for real now.
I told you.
Y'all, listen here. Don't come for me. Do not come for me.
Yeah.
All right, so tomorrow, we do got a bank holiday, as you guys know, for tomorrow.
MLK Day.
Yep, the Japanese yen got the outlook report, BLJ outlook report. That's giving a red folder. GBP, CPI, CAD CPI coming out Wednesday. Government Bailey speech for the Great British Pound Wednesday as well. And the Australian dollar has their unemployment rate and employment change news coming out Wednesday. So Wednesday could be pretty effective. I mean, not pretty effective, but could end up moving the markets Wednesday. That's pretty much it for this week. So, Wednesday seems to be the only day that we really got to watch out for this week. That does not mean that any news would not possibly affect the market, but it's still good to pay attention to our economy, know what's going on. Let's see what investing.com has out for this week. Seems to be a light week this week. So still keep an eye out. And let's pay attention to market structure as always. And see how this week goes. So if you guys do not have any questions or anything, that will be the end of the call. I did not mark up gold. Let's see. Let's break down gold real quick. All right, so this is out of the question. Now, has this pulled back enough? It has. Let me check it off mine. 38.2. So I have 2 rejection off of this fib level right now. So this could end up possibly going back up to here. Retesting this zone again. And this will be where I make my decision on if I want to sell this or not. And see if it comes down to here.
So you draw your fibs from lower lows to higher highs, right?
Yeah. I do inverse too. Like
Higher.
It just depends on what I'm looking for.
Don't be coughing.
I ain't it. You trying to hold that in? You thought you were trying to hold that in.
I heard Patrice cough.
Oh,
All right, let's see. So even on major structure, it seems like gold is kind of consolidating right now. We're gonna see how this thing plays out. Trade what we see. Y'all can get tired of me saying that, but yeah, I know it's true. Trade what you see. So yeah, that's my markups for the week. If anything changes, you guys know that I will let y'all know ASAP.